What's up, everybody? I'm back. Another week, another little video for all of you. Now, this week, I got a review for you again. Now, this one's not a movie, it's actually a documentary on Ric Flair. It's called The Nature Boy. Now, this one's not new, technically. It is an older one. It's a 30 for 30 from ESPN from 2017. But it just came on Netflix like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, something like that. So definitely it's available to a lot more people that are actually going to get eyes on it. So I figured I'd do a review on it. I watched it the other night. And damn, I thought I knew the Nature Boy. But man, I didn't know everything by any means. I learned a few things from this. So I thought I'd give you a little review. Again, it's not a movie, so I can't really say there's spoilers. I'm just going to give you some snippets from it I'm going to talk about with some screenshots. Now, I'm getting the screenshots are actually me pausing it. So it's going to take me a second to get to the different clips because I didn't really have time to try to get screenshots or anything. And you can't take screenshots from Netflix. So, yeah, so just so you know. Other than that, we're going to talk about it for a few, and I'm going to give you my thoughts. So here we go. 30 for 30, The Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Now, some of you may or may not know I am a big Ric Flair fan. I post about him sometimes on Instagram and stuff because nothing can brighten your day like a woo. Or just him going off about his limos and his gator shoes and all, dude. It's just amazing. So one thing I did not know, and let's just start at the beginning. Then let's just dive right in. So the one thing I didn't know was that he was adopted. I didn't even realize that. Now maybe that's general knowledge for everybody else. I didn't know. Okay. Did not know he was adopted. So when he was originally adopted, they had not told him for a while. They didn't tell him anything for quite a long time. And here's a shot of his parents. That's him and his parents and their dog. Now, you can definitely see that he looks like Ric Flair there. But man, he can almost pass like that could be his parents. That's what's crazy. Like his biological parents. They don't look that far off from him. That's insane. But yeah, he kind of didn't have the best relationship with them. They weren't bad people. They took care of him and everything, but they were kind of distant with him. And, that's kind of partially the reason that a lot of people feel, and I kind of agree, is why he did what he did. He was craving attention. So, like, he constantly needed attention. He constantly needed to be around somebody, from what they've said in the thing. Here's another shot of him when he was, I think that's high school. There you could see. I mean, he's got dark hair, but that's a Nature Boy, definitely. And like, so he was crazy even when he was younger. Like, once he got into college, like in his fraternity, when the sorority would come over to the fraternity, so they were walking up to the door, he swung open these double windows or something on the second floor and just stood there naked and was saying hi to everybody. And that's what this is. So he just stood there, buck ass naked, talking to people. He just didn't care. He just didn't care. He craved the attention that bad. And he just didn't care. It's just insane. He's always been that way. It's fantastic. Now, when he first started getting to wrestling, he did not have his look. He looked like that when he first got into wrestling. He was heavier. And he didn't have the blonde hair yet. He didn't have any of that stuff yet. And matter of fact, if I could find it, the first match he was ever in, Get a good shot of it. I believe this was his first match. Now check him out. He doesn't look anything like Ric Flair there. And he got his butt kicked in this first match, but he didn't look anything. He didn't have the long blonde hair. He didn't have the gimmick. He didn't have the robes. He didn't have the boa. He didn't have nothing. Nothing yet. Nothing at all. And then what happened was the infamous accident. When the guy fucking survived a plane crash, like where other people died. Like, it's amazing how many times this guy, through his life, shouldn't be alive. It's insane. Like, you crash, and it's not like, oh, it's a 747 or it's a big plane. No, it was a little private plane with a bunch of wrestlers in it. And I think they all died except him. And it's insane. But after that, after the plane crash, is when he took on. So when he was when he was recovering, he didn't really eat. He lost a bunch of weight. He atrophied, and he had to work his ass off to come back from that. And when he came back, obviously his body had changed a lot. And that's when he took on that Nature Boy persona. Now, he wasn't originally the Nature Boy. The original Nature Boy was Buddy Rogers. That's Buddy Rogers. That was the original Nature Boy. So he took the gimmick from Buddy Rogers. He was going to be the new Buddy Rogers for the 70s onward. So he took on the blonde hair. He took on the boa and the flashy stuff and all that. And that's when he became the Ric Flair that we know. Now he's the Ric Flair we know. He's got the long blonde hair. He's skinnier. He's in better shape. And he's starting to make his character at that point. He starts wearing the robes. He starts talking about styling and profiling and his epic speeches that he would give. Like, people were watching wrestling, they're just the wrestling at that time. They wanted to hear this motherfucker talk. That's what they wanted. Now, through all this, he had been married already to his first wife, and he had some kids. Okay? Now, one of the ongoing things in this documentary about him is his infidelity and absentee fatherhood. And he admits it at the end. He was Ric Flair, the Nature Boy. He wasn't Richard Flair, the father and husband. And that's what he screwed up on. With multiple wives. He's had three. He's with his third wife now. So he had 3 wives and kids with the first 2. And, so that's going to be an ongoing thing through his life. Now, one of his most famous things when he won the championship was with his famous match against the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And he was the one who really mentored Rick. And they had amazing matches together and everything. And that's when he first became champion. And it was special for him. So he never forgot that. And the Flairs and the Rhodes their families were very close. And they were friends all through the years, even after, until his death. Now, I have to go here next. I have to, people. Because this is a special place in my heart for. I just try to find it out of him. There we go. Right there. 4 Horsemen. The amount of times me and my friends, Tom, everybody, would say tradition, brother, and go like this. It was from the Fourth Horseman, man. You want to talk about the first group in wrestling before fucking the NWO and any of that shit? The Four Horsemen were the first, where it was a collection of wrestlers like that, and it was huge. It brought in the views, man. It was huge. And there had been a few iterations, of it with other people in it, but for the most part, I think of it as the original group of Four Horsemen with Arn Anderson and all that. So he gets divorced from his first wife because obviously he's not just Ric Flair in the ring. He is Ric Flair out of the ring too. He is Ric Flair. So the ladies love him. The guys adore him. The ladies love him. You know what I'm saying? So he would cheat. He was unfaithful on the road. He's famous for that. He's also famous for being able to drink enough alcohol to kill most human beings. The amount he drank every single day on the road. And not just, I'm having a beer after a match. No, he drank multiple beers, multiple mixed drinks every single day and wrestled every single day. I don't know how this guy's alive. There's the other reason why. That you have the plane crash, number one, and then his liver. I don't know how his liver hasn't enlarged and exploded by now with the amount of alcohol he's done. It's just insane. So he winds up having a second wife and more kids. And he does the same thing again. He's not around. He's Ric Flair. He's out on the road, you know? So again, in the long run, that doesn't turn out well either. And then I'm not going to go into every little thing, but he goes into some of his favorite matches and stuff with Sting and Ricky Steamboat and all that. And so you watch it for that. But those are some of the matches that he remembers. And he mentored Sting a little bit when he first came in and gave Sting, really put him over, you know? So, but this one story he tells is he used to have to go to a psychiatrist. And he winds up, telling the psychiatrist what he does every day, how much he drinks, and how he does. And he's like, the fucking psychiatrist can't even comprehend how this guy can be doing all that and still be alive. So it winds up by the end of it, he has the psychiatrist on the couch and he's helping him because he just can't wrap his mind around the fact that this guy drinks like he does, wrestles and does everything and travels all over the world like he does, and he's not a fucking dead. So I thought that was funny that he actually drove the psychiatrist nuts. And then it gets into some other matches and, other wrestlers' opinions of him and get into, Hulk Hogan and every single wrestler, every single one. Nothing but respect for the guy. Nothing but respect for him. Nothing. Only good words. Even the Hulkster put the Nature Boy above him. And we know Hulkster likes to be number one. But even the Hulkster had a bunch of kind words to say about the Nature Boy. And they got a little bit into how they were originally supposed to wrestle each other, and that was the shit. It was like, dude, Hogan and Flair fighting, the two biggest fucking names in wrestling at the time, fighting each other. But it wound up never happening. Again, watch the documentary. It's really good. But it winds up not happening until years later, and it was kind of like, yeah, it was great that it happened, but it was kind of too little too late at that time. So after that, then it gets into some sad. It ends on such a fucking sad note, dude. It was like all this fun shit at the beginning. You see it like he could drink, he's partying, he's wrestling, his rise, all this stuff. Then you get into how I totally forgot about it. How his son died. His son overdosed. And I totally forgot about it. He has so many fucking kids, and you hear about, Charlotte Flair and all the other ones, but you forget about Reed, the one that passed away, and how horrible it was. And in a nutshell, he was getting him in the business, and they were more of buddies than a father-son relationship. And that's one of the things he says at the end that he regrets was, I wish I was more your father and not your friend. That's what he says he wishes. And, he was one of the only kids that got into the wrestling. So they were like, he was doing stuff with his dad. He was into sports. His dad was taking him to all the sports. They were really close. Again, more like buddies. And he had him out on the road, and he was going to Japan to wrestle. And all before this, people were telling him, Rick, I think your son's got a drug problem. And then he was tested, and Triple H had told him, look, this stuff is coming up. And they even retested him because, it's Ric Flair, and we'll do it again, buddy. And it came up again that there was stuff coming up in his fucking urine and his blood. And Rick was just like, nah, it can't be. And it wound up, it was. And he wound up overdosing in Japan and died. And man, dude, just the pain in this guy, dude, from that. And, you hear a little bit from Triple H, like he tells you about how, it came up in the thing, and he was trying to tell him, and people were saying, things are off, and blah, blah, blah. And nobody wanted to take it seriously. And that's why you don't fuck with shit like that, man. You don't fuck around with shit like that. If somebody's having a problem, man, and you love them and you care for them and you have compassion for them. Again, let me reiterate what empathy and compassion is. Okay? Empathy is feeling sorry for someone from afar. I have those feelings. I feel it. I have empathy for you. I have sympathy for you. Empathy and sympathy are kind of equal. Compassion means I hurt for you, and I want to help stop that pain. I want to find a way to help you. I feel it with you. I'm suffering with you. And I want to help. So I had no idea. Now, I don't watch wrestling now, really. I'll get every now and then something will pop up and I'll watch it. I don't know why. Because I used to love wrestling. I watched it a ton. All the way into my early 20s, I watched it. From a kid into my early 20s. And then it started getting ridiculous to me. And I just didn't have the time or whatever. And I was like, whatever. And I stopped watching it. So I'm kind of out of the loop who people are for the most part and stuff. So every now and then I'll jump on, just try to understand some of the things going on. And I knew Ric Flair's daughter, Charlotte Flair, was in it and was champion, all that. But I had no idea that the whole reason that she got into it was because of his death. She wanted to have him reach his dream of being the champion. That's why she started wrestling. So through her, he could be champion. And they were very close. They were full-blooded brother and sister. So they were very close, same mother. And just to see, it was heartbreaking. And at that moment, right here, dude, when she won the championship, pointed up and said it was for him. And he's bawling, hugging her. Beautiful moment, man. Beautiful fucking moment. I had no idea. I just thought, Charlotte Flair, whatever, Ric Flair's daughter, whatever. I had no idea. I have so much different outlook on that stuff now, and a whole different perspective on that. And it just goes to show you, There's a difference between, you know, how they say, don't always get hurt by other people because you don't know what they're going through. And you know what? That's fine. But at some point, the question has to be asked, if you are compassionate for them, what's wrong, and try to help them so that you don't continually be treated that way because of something they're going through. That's the difference. That's the difference. So now I have more empathy and sympathy for them now that I didn't have before. So think about that, guys, next time. Maybe in some cases, have a little compassion for people as well, if you love them. Now, you don't have to have compassion for every stranger or everything you see. But, you know, for that stuff, you can still have empathy and sympathy for that shit. But maybe if we all started with the people we love, you know, our immediate circle, be it family, friends, or both, showing a little more compassion and understanding the flaws a little more, and then questioning them on it, into making sure that you're trying to help if you have that compassion. And it doesn't always work. You know, people can still say nothing's wrong. People can still say everything's fine. How do you help somebody that doesn't want to help? You can't. But the compassion is still there. So, yeah, look, watch this. It was great. I'm not really going to, it's a 5 stars. It's a documentary. I fucking love documentaries. I watch them constantly. That's why I still have a Netflix account for the most part, because they do documentaries good. That's why I like Netflix. They do documentaries good. So definitely go check it out, especially if you're a Ric Flair fan. It's awesome. It was awesome. Ric Flair's the man, still going. Now he's doing his freaking Ric Flair drip. He's got his marijuana line of stuff. He's in music videos with people singing about him. He's a fucking man still to this day. Still out partying. Follow him on Facebook. He's still out drinking every fucking night with his wife. Going everywhere. So, check it out, guys. I give it, so if it was a 5, if it's a 5 stars for the best, I give it 5 stars. It was great. I learned shit I didn't know. I liked the way it was set up. I had emotions through the fucking thing. Works for me, bruh. Works for me. So check it out. It's on Netflix now. Please, if you like this, again, I really don't know, guys. I'm still pretty busy, so I don't know when I'm going to have time to do the podcast again. If anyone cares or not, I'm still letting everyone know. But I will throw some bullshit out every week, because usually every week I have something to say. So I'll say it. And I can't always just talk so freely about whatever with my training stuff. I got to keep it more life and training and stuff. Here I can talk about other things. So if you like that, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, follow, whatever your platform you're on, do that thing. I appreciate that. If you ever want any of our links, go to our Instagram in the bio, all the links you'll ever need. Yeah, that's about it. Dude, if you like us, please show it. It's the only fucking way the algorithm gives 2 shits. That's it. Doesn't matter any other way. If you view it, still kind of doesn't matter. So please comment, subscribe, and like. But please do something. I appreciate it. And if you do, thank you. And I will be back next week to see you all again with what? I don't know yet, but I will be here. Peace.
Go to Harris, I'm telling you, everybody. Bye. Go to Harris, I'm telling you, everybody.
See you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Harris, I'm telling you.